This segment of DelmarvaLife is brought to you by TidalHealth.
We all have those moments where you might get a little confused, maybe have a dizzy spell, or perhaps get that killer headache. Usually, there's nothing to worry about.
But knowing when to worry can make the difference between life and death. May is National Stroke Awareness Month, and we want to help you know what to look out for if you or someone you love is having a stroke. And here to help us is Dr. Sophia Shakur. She is with TidalHealth Neurosurgery. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks for having me again.
Yeah, so it is National Stroke Awareness Month, so let's just start with the basics. What is a stroke?
So a stroke is a sudden injury to the brain, and usually it's because of a blood vessel problem in the brain. Either the blood vessel is blocked, and so there's no blood flow or oxygen getting to the brain, or the blood vessel has actually ruptured, for example, or burst and has caused a bleed in the brain, which also causes an injury. So that's what a stroke is.
And what people need to know the warning signs, because sometimes they not be that obvious. What are they?
Yes, so the most critical thing when it comes to a stroke is time. So the faster a person recognizes that either themselves or their family member is having a stroke, the quicker they can get to the hospital. So there's an easy way to remember how to recognize a stroke, and that is be fast. And it also reminds us about time, to be fast. So B stands for balance, E, eyes, F, face, A, arm, S, speech, and T, time to call 911. So if you have trouble walking, trouble seeing, a facial droop, arm weakness, difficulty with speech, it's time to call 911.
Yeah. Now, are some people more at risk for stroke than others?
Certainly there are risk factors that we have identified that are associated with strokes. That's why we always encourage people to have regular visits with their primary care doctor, to control their blood pressure, watch their cholesterol, watch what you're eating, your diet. Also blood sugar control, so if you're diabetic, it's very important to keep an eye on that. Test yourself at home. So those are the main risk factors. Additionally, things like cigarette smoking are very important. So those are the main risk factors associated with having a stroke.
Are there other things that we can do to kind of keep us from getting a stroke or from being more likely to?
Yeah, so you have to focus on those things that we mentioned. You know, prevention, besides recognizing a stroke, prevention is the most important thing. So, you know, you just have to stay healthy, exercise regularly, you know, eat a healthy, balanced diet, do things in moderation. Those are the keys to staying healthy.
So how do doctors diagnose a stroke?
Right, so just like the Be Fast acronym, as soon as you come to the hospital, to the emergency room, we test those functions because those things test your brain, whether it's working or not. So as soon as you come to the hospital, we do an exam, a thorough exam, to test your functions and to see if perhaps you've had a stroke. But the next step is to do a CAT scan. And that is a scan of the brain that can be done within a couple minutes, and it tells us if you've had a stroke and perhaps what kind of stroke, so that we know how to treat you.
So when it comes to treating, there's neurosurgery. What's the process there?
Yeah, so neurosurgery is critical to the treatment of strokes. Particularly the bleeding type of a stroke. So for example, if your stroke is from an aneurysm in the brain that has ruptured, neurosurgeons evaluate you and treat you to fix that aneurysm so that it does not bleed again. The other type of stroke where the blood vessel is blocked in the brain is also often now treated by a neurosurgeon as well, using minimally invasive techniques, where we have specialized devices that go in the blood vessel in the brain, and they remove the blockage to restore blood flow. So neurosurgery plays a key role.
Well, we are fortunate that we have neurosurgeons like you here to help us here at TidalHealth Peninsula Regional. Thank you so much, Dr. Sophia Shakur, for coming in this afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much. We have all the technologies available at TidalHealth Peninsula, and we're happy to help our patients if you need us.
All right, thank you.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.